My name's Melissa, and this is my informative speech for my Communications 210 public speaking class. My subject today will be introverted personalities. Introvert, and understanding. At the end of my speech, you will understand what it means to be an introvert and the characteristics and social habits that are displayed with an introverted personality. Most people don't understand the term introvert as associated with personality type and the characteristics that go along with being an introvert. I will enlighten my audience of the meaning and the characteristics of being an introvert to promote understanding. We all have that friend that we make plans with, and every single time they cancel, normally at the last minute. Whether it's a girls' night out or coffee at the local cafe, there doesn't seem to be anything that you can plan to get them to leave their comfort zone. The few times that you have managed to get them out of the house is normally for an event that they can't avoid, like a wedding. And then normally you'll find them in the corner watching everyone else, or talking to the host's dog, or maybe their great uncle Albert, who served in World War III. World War II. What you may not understand is that this individual may not be antisocial. They may have an introverted personality. This type of personality causes people, which it may cause large crowds and people they don't know, may cause anxiety or the feeling of being overwhelmed. Today, I'd like to explain exactly what an introvert is, the characteristics of an introvert, and the stereotypes associated with people that have an introverted personality. According to the New Dictionary of Cultural Literacy, introvert is a term introduced by psychologist Carl Jung to describe a person whose motive and actions are directed inwards. Introverts tend to be preoccupied with their own thoughts and feelings and minimize their contact with outside people. According to psychosocial rehabilitation specialist and author Kendra Cherry, people who are introverted tend to be inward turning or focused more on internal thoughts, feelings, and mood rather than seeking outside stimulus. Introverts tend to be more quiet, reserved, and introspective. Vocabulary.com describes an introvert as a person who tends to shrink from social contact to become preoccupied with their own thoughts. Now that I've explained what an introvert is, we're going to go over a few characteristics that are associated with an introvert. Some of these characteristics that are associated with introverts are that they're quiet and reserved in large groups and in unfamiliar surroundings. But most introverts tend to be sociable and gregarious and around people that they know well. Introverts absorb information through observation. Because of their thirst for knowledge and their inward focus, most introverts are very self-aware. Introverts also tend to be very thoughtful. Now that you know some of the characteristics of an introvert, let's discuss some of the social stigmas that are also associated with it. Author Kay Cannon writes that while stereotypes can accurately describe an introvert, most of the characteristics are that of an individual. Some of these stereotypes could be shyness. And while most introverts are perceived to be shy, it is in fact that they rather be approached than to do the approaching. Uninteresting. Just because a person chooses not to partake in small talk and in social niceties does not mean that they can't carry on an interesting conversation on a topic of interest. Being uninterested is not the same thing as being uninteresting. While an introvert has a very limited attention span for most subjects like small talk, if a like interest can be found, you're likely to find yourself in a very engaging conversation with an introvert. Many people believe that introverts are misanthropic or don't like people, but this isn't necessarily true. Introverts do like people, but it takes an immense amount of energy to engage with multiple people on a social level. An introvert would rather have a substantial conversation than to engage in small talk. In conclusion, I hope that I have informed all of you, whether it is indicative of your own personality or that of a friend, as to what you can find and expect with an introverted personality. What you see of a person is not always the whole story, and every individual is different, inside and out. If you find that you fit this description, or that you have a friend that may, try to make plans that would be more conducive towards a deeper conversation or a creative pursuit. A lack of understanding makes connections with the outside world difficult enough with everyone judging people. Reach out. The rewards are always worth it.